Hey you guys, it's Host.Promo here, a website where you can find the best web hosting companies and promotions in the world. In today's video, I'm super pumped up to be going over Vultr because I use Vultr myself. I know a lot about the company and I think it's absolutely amazing, and they have a referral program for users such as myself where we can offer you a $100 free trial. You can see right here an older video I did. It used to be $50, but now it's $100, and the best thing about that is the servers are actually the same price. So you don't get the crazy inflation on the servers, but you get even a bigger free trial. All you need to do is click the link down below and it will help support the channel. And if you want to hear why I think Vultr is one of the best companies and why I use it for some of my websites, I will go ahead and explain that in this video. But I first want to make something very clear to you guys, because you may be thinking, well, if he thinks Vultr is one of the best web hosting companies, why does he not have it listed as the top company here on his website? And the answer is simple, and I want to say this in the nicest way possible without being rude, but most people who use my website are tech illiterate or they're lazy, and they don't want to use a cloud hosting company like Vultr because the thought of logging into a terminal and using SSH scares them, and they're tech illiterate and they can't watch a 5-minute video on YouTube how to do it. And that's just the sad truth of it, guys. That's why a lot of people use these big shared hosting companies. But if you want root access, if you want full access to the servers, if you want the full power of a web hosting company, then you need to use cloud hosting. It's just that simple. And Vultr has been around since 2014. And they have servers starting at $2.50, which is way cheaper than most cloud hosting companies out there. And I've done a lot of research on cloud hosting companies, and Vultr has 25 data centers. Most cloud hosting companies have like 5 or 10 data centers maximum. And the other great thing about Vultr compared to most cloud hosting companies out there is they accept Bitcoin. And I'll go over some of the features in this video. I'm not going to go over all the features with you guys because it will just take so long because they have so many features. However, this is their homepage right here, and you can see this is how it works. So you have one-click deployment, and you can select the location, the server type, the server size, enable different settings, and then just click deploy, and boom, you have a server within 60 seconds. However, it's a little bit more than one click because usually you need to SSH into that server and adjust some configuration settings. And that's what scares a lot of people, even though it's not difficult. It only takes a couple minutes to learn. And they also have a powerful API for developers, and they have easy backend management. And these are some of their control panel features. So you can see right here, you'll be able to see some of your products and servers that have been spun up. And you'll also be able to have team management, so you can invite developers, you can invite accountants and people in your company and give them different privileges. You can manage your API access. You can see that it works on desktop, tablet, and mobile, so it's very responsive. You can track your server's health, so you can see how much computer usage, how much memory, how much bandwidth, different things like that. And you can get these nice graphs so you can see, oh wow, I can downgrade my server, I don't need this big of a server, or wow, the computer usage is exploding, I need a bigger server. And you can easily upgrade your server. That's one of the great things about cloud hosting that you're just not going to get in shared hosting. With cloud hosting, you can grow, you can increase and decrease as time goes along. And they do have support. However, I do want to make something clear. If you guys are tech illiterate and you don't know what you're doing, then you want to use a shared hosting company, because anytime you're using these cloud hosting companies, they can of course help you and give you some support, but they're not going to baby you and spoon feed you like some of the shared hosting companies will, okay? They expect you to know a little bit. And you can see right here, they accept many different payment methods, whether that be PayPal, major credit cards, Alipay, Bitcoin, etc. And the other amazing thing about cloud hosting that like companies like Vultr that you're just not going to get with traditional shared hosting companies is you actually pay per month instead of per year. And they have all these different operating systems, so you're not limited. Whether you want to spin up a Fedora server, Ubuntu server, whether you want to geek out and do some Arch Linux, you can do all of that here at Vultr. And they have an amazing marketplace. So if you want to spin up your own VPN server, your own WordPress server, and you don't want to spend hours configuring and installing and git cloning and figuring out the dependencies and all of that, they have all these one-click applications where you can simply install these in one click. However, like I said earlier, when it comes to one click, you usually do need to log in to the server and set a configuration file or do something simple. So it's a little bit more than one click. However, it saves you hours and hours of time, which is absolutely awesome. And this is what really makes Vultr stick out to its competitors, is they have 25 data centers around the world. So whether you want to host, like say your customers are in America, you can find the location where your customers are closest to, so they get the best speed. Okay, so if your customers are in India, you can spin up some servers in India, etc. Okay, and you can even set up load balancing, so you can have servers all over the world, but that's a little bit more complex. But you can do that with a company like this, and you cannot do that with a traditional hosting company. So that's what makes it so amazing. Another really cool thing about Vultr that a lot of its competitors do not have is they have a DDoS protection feature. So a lot of the cloud hosting companies out there, I'm not going to name names, but they will actually kick you off their services temporarily, even if your website gets DDoS for like 30 seconds or a minute. It's total nonsense. But with Vultr, you can get DDoS protection for very, very cheap. And they also have a ton of developer resources as well as some APIs for developers. So you can programmatically spin up new servers and do all this really cool stuff, and you just cannot do this with traditional hosting companies. So this is why Vultr just absolutely crushes it compared to traditional hosting companies, is they just have so many features. You get root access, you can do all this stuff, and like I said, guys, the pricing is very transparent, and you can pay per month, okay? So that is absolutely awesome. You don't have to be locked into like a 1 year or 2 year contract. You can just pay per month, because maybe you don't need a server in 2 months. Maybe you only need a server for a few hours. And you just cannot do that at a lot of these companies. And this is where, Vultr just absolutely crushes it. And I highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend you try the free trial so you can see how it is. Even if you feel a little intimidated and a little scared into using SSH and trying cloud hosting out, I'd recommend you just try it. There's a lot of great tutorials out there on how to set up cloud servers on Vultr and how to do certain things. So if you're willing to spend just a little bit of time learning, if you're new, you can easily learn this stuff. And like I said, guys, it's a $100 free trial now. You can see in my old video, it used to be $50. So please take advantage of this. Vultr has spun up literally 45 million cloud servers on their service. So the company knows what they're doing. They have a lot of experience. And I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you guys have an amazing experience with Vultr. If you have any questions about Vultr or hosting or anything like that, leave it down below, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out Host.Promo. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the day.